We have Alana Houston here from the Central Oregon Visitors Association, CEO. We got a
She's
CEO
the
on the
boss.
show. I know.
Thank goodness we've got an important person.
Finally.
So what do you do?
We do destination tourism marketing. So our entire job is putting messaging in target markets to attract visitors to come and spend their vacation time in Central Oregon.
Nice.
Typical target markets.
Ideally, we're focused on the western states. That's where we feel we have the greatest likelihood of attracting visitors from. Some of our messaging goes nationally, but generally that's in conjunction with the public relations campaign. But our paid media is essentially the West Coast.
Cool. And so a lot of people, when they think of tourism in Central Oregon, you think of Bend and Sun River. I mean, you just skip over the other towns when you immediately think of it. Why is Redmond a town that should not be just skipped over?
Well, I think fortunately in the eyes of the visitor, they're not differentiating from community to community. When they're picking this destination, they want to experience the entire package. So Bend often comes to mind first because it's the largest city, so it's a little bit better known, greater population base. A lot of the tourism product is focused within Deschutes County. But that doesn't take anything away from the other communities that make Central Oregon such a vibrant destination. And Redmond is absolutely critical to the toolkit because all of our commercial air service flies in and out of the Redmond Airport. And so Redmond has really been a leader in developing our commercial air service, working with the airlines to attract new carriers, working with the existing carriers to grow service, and really being the portal and the center of everything that's happening in Central Oregon.
And as far as the airport is concerned, it's growing in terms of the magnetism from which you can draw folks.
Yes, and when you look at the catchment basin, which is what they call the general area that the Redmond Airport serves, it goes way beyond just the tri-county footprint of Central Oregon. But there are folks coming this way from Eastern Oregon to catch flights. Now there's a regular commuter between Eugene and Redmond of kids going to school at U of O who are using Redmond as a destination to fly out of as well as into. So the growth of the airport and Redmond being the center of all of that is really critical to everything we're trying to accomplish for tourism.
And you've got a new service between Redmond and someplace called Los Angeles.
Yes, those 20+ million people down there are just dying to visit Central Oregon. So the new service was absolutely vital to our attempts to continue to grow engagement with new markets. The Central Oregon Visitors Association is in year 3 of a 3-year strategy to open up the Bay Area. The next thing on the hit list was Southern California, so the achievement of those nonstop routes between LAX and RDM is absolutely vital to our future development plans.
Is it a real just kind of hit or miss thing when you guys get the idea for these new flights and they start coming in? Because I know we had to San Francisco and then that one didn't really work out, but like John just said, you know, then all of a sudden we get a new one to try out. So is it just really you have to try it and see if it works?
Well, our strategy as a tourism promotion entity is never hit or miss. Unfortunately, the airlines operate with a little bit different model than what the promotion entities do. So it is certainly a partnership. And this region, in large part led by economic development for Central Oregon, really put together a concerted, thoughtful plan on how we were going to grow service and what markets we wanted to reach. We're very fortunate that we still have daily nonstop service through SFO in and out of the Bay Area. And the low-cost carrier Allegiant that picked up the San Jose route the Oakland route for a very short period of time, it was devastating to lose that. We never want to lose service. Our whole goal is to be growing service. But sometimes the business model for an airline doesn't fit with the business model for a region. And so that's why working with entities like the Redmond Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development for Central Oregon, the Bend Chamber, we put together a very thoughtful long-term strategy for air service, and thankfully it's proving successful.
I'm curious about the hook, especially for folks outside of Central Oregon. What do you use as the hook to kind of lure people in?
You know, the hook is one of
Beautiful
our
weather?
yes, it's one of our greatest challenges and also greatest opportunities because we have such a diverse product that it's very difficult to find a single thing that we want to lay our cap to. So when we take our messaging into a new market, a lot of what we're conveying is that a destination trip to Central Oregon can provide a really diverse experience. So with a rise in multi-generational family travel, we're a very attractive destination because regardless of your age or your interest, Central Oregon is going to have a product that can fulfill that. So if you want a road cycle, 100 miles in a day, we have the trails and the roads
That's
that can
Mackenzie's
provide that.
strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That
She lives for 100-mile bike rides.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do one right after this.
the
Really?
triathlete.
Yeah.
For instance, I was leaving the office yesterday. We were getting ready to close the door, and a family of 8 visiting from Japan decided that they wanted to change their plans today due to the heat and take a whitewater rafting trip. And 5 of them were going to take the trip. One of them wanted to just hang out by the riverbank and take some pictures, and the other one wanted to do some mountain biking. And we were able to fulfill that entire family's needs by booking, one comprehensive package for it. So
The great thing about Central Oregon, since I've been here, is that you can do one thing in the morning. You literally could do an afternoon
Yep.
deal and then kind of relax and do something very attractive at the end of the
Yep.
day.
absolutely.
It's true.
The state of Oregon worked with COVA on a campaign a couple of years ago that they called the Hat Trick. And they brought their PR team over, and they skied Mount Bachelor in the morning. They then went and played 9 holes of golf, and then they got into their fishing gear and went fly fishing on the Deschutes,
That's
all in the
awesome.
same day.
Mackenzie,
And
you were the star of that?
I was on that trip, so
Wow.
I do it all.
It's tough being so talented.
Yeah.
she's a Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
Alana, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
And
Great
we're going
being
to
here.
enjoy Redmond some more.
Absolutely. You can't even knock this weather.
No.